question for you, and it is about TV shows. I don't talk a lot about TV shows, but I have talked about TV shows in the past. I did a TV show addiction or addicted to TV shows or something video where I talked about a lot of TV shows that I liked and why I was really getting into TV shows, because it hasn't always been something that I've always watched a lot of. I tend to watch more movies than TV, and that's just kind of how I've always been. And I still I still watch more movies than TV, but when I get into a good TV show, I get into a good TV show and I just watch it lots. But yeah, so I personally wanted to talk about I think I'm going to call this like your ultimate favourite TV show. I wanted to talk about my ultimate favourite TV show and not necessarily talk about the TV show itself, because that's kind of not what I'm going to do, but I'm going to talk about why it's my ultimate TV show, because I think even if the show that's my favourite isn't your favourite, I think you'll be able to relate to it with your favourite. I kind of think it's a relatable thing, hopefully, for some people. So I'll just tell you right off the bat, my favourite TV show, I've thought long and hard about this. There's lots of things I've considered, there's lots of things that I've thought have been my favourite in the past, or there's things that are, I mean, I have a few favourites, but this is probably my ultimate favourite. I mean, at the moment, in 2 years' time, I might have found a TV show that I'm like, you never know. But I'll tell you what was close. Friends was a close one for me. Friends is one of them shows I can watch over and over and over again. But the show that I've picked is, I'll explain the reasons, but basically I've picked Gossip Girl. Now this may seem really stupid and really weird, and it's honestly not. It is because of the show, but it's because of multiple things which I'll talk about. But the show basically is about, if you don't know, it's about young adolescent teenager type people. And it's just them living their lives on the Upper East Side of Manhattan, and they all have rich parents and they're all very rich and so it's kind of relatable but kind of not relatable, but I guess it depends what your situation is, but I'm sure for a lot of people it's not that relatable in the situations they're in always. But it's just a fun show. Anyway, I'm not really going to go into it and talk about it like that. I just want to talk about why, to me, it's my favourite and what I consider why TV shows. This is how TV shows are a big difference to me than movies, more so. So yeah, putting that aside, that is my favourite. Something that I find with TV shows is that you can really get connected with the characters because it's over such a long time. For example, Gossip Girl is 6 seasons long, which, other TV shows are actually longer than that sometimes, or shorter, but 6 series is quite a lengthy amount of time, and there's about, I don't know how many episodes on each, but there's quite a decent amount. You've got 5 or 6 discs on each series apart from the last one, so you've got quite a lot of lengthy episodes. I think they're like 40 minutes long. Maybe they were an hour on TV. I'm terrible at that. I always say, yes, these episodes must be half an hour, and then they're like a lot longer, but I think they're ones that were probably ran over an hour on TV, but I'm not exactly sure. I've never timed one, but I just feel like they have a lot in them, so it feels like a long time. So over that course of time, you get to know the characters really well, and you kind of get involved with the characters. If you like characters in a TV show, it's really easy to get involved and really get sucked into the show, which is different than movies, because oftentimes you watch a movie and that's it. You've watched an hour and a half, 2 hours, and that's all you kind of get. Unless it's a series, for example, Harry Potter, there's 8 of those films, and you kind of do get involved with the characters along the way. But, like I say, 6 seasons, that's probably over 6 years that they were released on TV, which I didn't watch them when they were on TV, I've just watched them on seasons, and I just feel so invested in the characters after I've watched all 6 seasons. So now, if I always watch Gossip Girl just by myself, it's kind of like my own thing, it's kind of like, just, when you just like having time for yourself to watch something, and I completely end up in this bubble of world, and I don't even think about anything else. Nothing else crosses my mind whilst watching Gossip Girl. Whereas I find when I watch a movie, oftentimes I'll be thinking about little other things I need to do, or little things like, oh, I need to send a message to, I don't know, like little things I'll be thinking about, and or conversations had in the day I might be thinking about, and I'll kind of be thinking. But when I watch this show, I'm just not thinking about anything, and that's kind of great. Sometimes it's nice to not be always thinking a lot, and I just like to have that time where my brain just relaxes and it's totally invested in this world, and I just forget about everything. It's like, yeah, never mind, I'm gonna watch this now, and that's great. That's what I really love. This is kind of why that's my favourite show. It's because I love the characters, I get really in on the storylines, it's kind of gripping. Each episode, I finish the episode and I'm going to watch one episode, and then I just watch the next one. I've seen this show. I'm running through it the second time, but I'm quite near the end now, so, and then I've kind of watched it in bits and bobs. But full way through series 1 to 6, I'm running through it for the second time. And I love it. So basically, the reason, like I say, it's my favourite is just because I can get so invested in the characters and the situations and just kind of feel like I'm there in the situation and in my own bubble of the world, and it not really, nothing else really matters. Like with movies, it is a lot different. You can watch a movie and then that's kind of over and you're like, oh, okay, yeah. But TV shows are really continuous and they show the characters' growth over so much time because, you know, they're filmed, obviously, each season will be filmed like 1 year, next year. So you just kind of see the characters grow and see the storylines change and stuff. So I think that's something really important about TV shows, and what I've really noticed when I've really gotten into this show in particular. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's so many shows I could list that are my favourites and that I love so much, but I just want to talk about my ultimate favourite. And then of course, as you guys know, I did visit New York in May. Now we planned this for quite a while, since probably about 18, it was kind of an idea, we were going to go this year, so it was like, yeah, you know, and then obviously it rolled around. But then last year, 2013, I started watching Gossip Girl, and you know, it's set in New York, so I was like, oh, it got me even more excited about it. And then it was kind of fluke that basically when we went into a travel agent's, when we were looking at hotels, we didn't really know where we wanted to stay, and it was kind of like, oh, we've never been before, because me and my mum went. And the guy, the first one that rolled up, he said, okay, well, there's this hotel if you want to look at this, and some interesting, I was just like, you know, and he said some interesting things about it is this is a hotel that was used to film Gossip Girl. And I was like, you know, your ears prick up, and I was like, what? And, you know, and it was, so we ended up staying in the Empire Hotel, which if you have seen Gossip Girl, it's kind of a big part of the show, and it's kind of, a lot is filmed in it, but a lot more than I thought. So, you know, I went to New York, I stayed in the hotel, I saw a lot of things that were on the show, and, you know, as with New York, you kind of, if you've been, when you watch a film that's in it, you're like, oh yeah, that, everything's kind of recognisable afterwards. So and then I started watching the show for the second time, and it was kind of like, I'd been there, and I was familiar with the actual place, and it just was so much, it sounded so much more, because it kind of had a more personal connection with it, because I'd been to the place, I'd been in that hotel, I knew where they were in, I don't know, there's like different things where I was like, oh yeah, I've been there, I felt more a part of it than I did before, so it was kind of really cool, and I kind of connected with it a bit more because of that. So yeah, that is my favourite TV show. I'm sure that, I don't know if anyone else, I don't think anybody else probably have that one as their favourite, but basically I just kind of wanted to know, what is your favourite TV show and why, and what is your like complete invested in TV show that you can just, I don't know, escape with and go with and be like, yes, you know, I think that's what TV shows really can do. And then your ultimate one is like that. I hope this video made sense. I kind of feel like it didn't now. Sorry, I'm losing my voice. Anyway, that is my favourite TV show, and that is the reasons why, and that is why TV shows I think are really important, and why they're great, as well as movies, why TV shows are good. Who knows what I've just said, but it's okay. Let me know down in the comments below, what is your favourite and why? Give me a good reason. And I'll see you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to thumbs up if you enjoyed this. Subscribe if you haven't already if you are a newbie, and I'll just see you then. Goodbye!